Hello and welcome to Move with Grief. I encourage you to get comfortable in the space that you're in and to really meet yourself where you're at today. So I've got my little heat pad here just for a little extra added comfort and a pillow to sit on. And there's blankets nearby. My dog is nearby. There's a glass of water in the corner. There's a diffuser going for a fragrance. And I just take a moment to give yourself a few extra little comforts, be it adding an extra layer, setting up in one of the ways that I've just listed. Another part of meeting yourself where you're at is just checking in with yourself and deciding if you would feel best starting your practice seated or if you would like to start your practice on your back. Today, I'm going to start seated, but that is simply because it is easiest for me to breathe and talk you through your practice. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Breanna, and it is my honor to guide you through your practice today. Perhaps join me in taking a breath in through the nose and a big sigh out the mouth, letting that go. Feel free to keep your eyes opened or closed. Remember, I'm here to guide you, but ultimately this is your practice. It's up to you what you want to do. Skip any of the suggestions that you don't like. Take a moment to survey your body, noticing some areas that are calling for your attention. Maybe areas that are tight or tense. Maybe areas of pain. And then notice the quiet areas. Perhaps some areas of your body are difficult to sense. They simply feel relaxed, open, or at ease. And taking a moment to reflect on a loved one whom you've lost. Maybe you've recently lost somebody very near and dear to your heart. Maybe you have lost many people. For today, perhaps thinking of one person in particular. I'm thinking about a quality that they had that you admired. Perhaps maybe there was a part of them that you really miss. Maybe they were really kind or gentle. Maybe they were very ambitious. Maybe they always made time for you. They were a great listener. Just taking a moment to think of one quality that you miss. And if you'd like, you can use that quality as your intention or your focal point today to see if you can embody that quality in your yoga practice and hopefully in the rest of your day and the rest of your week. Having that little part of them with you. And so if they were a great listener and a great friend to you, you might practice really listening to your body and honoring yourself in your movements. If they were really ambitious or full of life, you might embody that through your movement. through the choices that you make along the way in your practice. Just take a moment to decide right now. And once you have that in mind, you might think about joining me in a child's pose. Now, if being on your knees is not suitable for your body, that's more than fine. You can be seated in a chair or on a bolster. We'll be doing side bends in a moment, so you'll be reaching over to one side. If being on your knees does work for you, then you can make your way onto your hands and knees. You can bring your knees a little bit wide, toes together, and then sinking your hips back on your heels. Now there's options here. If you have a blanket or a pillow, you can always bring that in between your calves and your thighs so that there's less of a deep crease in your knee if that is aggravating. Alternatively, you can have a blanket underneath of your knees as well. From here, stretching out your arms and allowing your chin, chest, or forehead to come to the mat. In our child's pose, I'd like to invite you to focus on your breath. Noticing the flow of your inhale and the flow of your exhale. Here you might actually be able to feel your belly expand in between your thighs. Then begin to lengthen your breath, encouraging your belly, your rib cage, and your chest to expand. Then feeling your belly, your rib cage, and your chest come together on the exhale. Perhaps encouraging each breath to be a little longer, a little smoother, and a little softer than the breath before. When you're ready, we're going to move into our first side bend. Perhaps lifting your forehead off the ground, pressing into your hands, and walking them over to the right side. If you're seated, you might reach your left arm up and over towards the right. Here in your side bend, I encourage you to breathe deeply, feeling the entire left side expand. And coming back to center and over to the left. If you're seated, you'll bring your right arm up and over to the left. Breathing here. Coming back to center. And then slowly rise up to an all fours position. I'm going to remove my pillow off to the side. And I'd like to invite you to move through some cat-cows, some spinal movements here. So first I'll talk about if you're on your hands and knees with me. You can have your toes curled under or not. It's up to you. Gently begin to guide the belly button towards the ground, tilting your tailbone and your gaze upwards, breathing in. And as you breathe out, tuck your tailbone underneath, round the spine and chin towards your chest, really pushing your hands and knees into the ground around the whole spine. As you begin to inhale, transition to that first position. If you're seated, you can do something very, very similar. Lifting your chest upwards, lifting your gaze, and then exhaling, rounding the spine, tucking your chin towards your chest, and maybe rotating your hips as well. And just continue to move here, tuning in to each and every vertebrae as it curls and uncurls. Remembering that quality that you are choosing to embody. And inviting that quality into the way that you move through these cat-cows. Taking one or two more. As grievers, we get this whole body generalized tension. And so we're just starting with our spine. See if we can relieve just a little bit of that tension. Find a neutral spine when that's feeling good, when you're feeling complete. And then we'll step our left knee more to the center of our mat. Curl the left toes under. You're going to straighten out the right foot behind you. Come onto the right toes. And then reach that right foot over to the left side. From here, begin to look over your left shoulder. Once again, if you're seated, you're going to reach your right arm up and over to the left. This is another side bend. Full breath in here. Full breath out. Gently come back to center. Guide the right knee to the center of your mat, and we'll switch to the other side. Extend the left toes behind you, and then reach the left toes over to the right. Your right toes can be curled under or not. It's up to you. Looking over your right shoulder. If you're seated, reaching your left arm up and over. Breathing here. Full breath in. Full breath out. Coming back to center. And then lowering your left knee to the ground. Take a pause here. Maybe curl your toes under. Maybe press your hips back here. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Please join me in a forward fold. If you're on all fours, you're going to step one foot forward, come up onto your fingertips, and then the other. Guiding your hips up towards the sky and allowing your head to dangle. Maybe think about shaking your head, yes and no, letting go of some of the tension here in your neck. You can play with bringing the weight into your heels and then back into your toes. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows and swing over to the left. Coming back to center and over to the right. And when you're ready, we're going to sunflower up, turning to the right, bend the knees, and roll up the right side of the body. Sweep your arms up and over to the left, and we'll roll down the left side of the body. Nice and slow. Rolling up the left side of the body. Bring those arms up and over, and we'll roll down the right side. Coming back to center, gently release your arms, bend the knees, and roll vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up to center. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. The shoulders are another place that many of us hold stress. We have the expression holding the weight of the world on our shoulders for that very reason. Grief is no different. It can harbor in your body in places like your core, your deep gut, in your shoulders, your jaw. Maybe think about shrugging them and letting them go. And then perhaps join me in interlacing your fingers behind your low back, Roll the shoulders back and down. Drive the fingers towards the ground. Lift your chest upwards. Big breath in. And as you breathe out, soften your shoulders. Perhaps guide your right ear to your right shoulder, continuing to drive your fingertips down towards the ground. Coming back to center and over to the left side. And back to center. Gently release. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. We'll get anchored down through our feet. So picking up the toes, spreading them nice and wide, firmly pressing down through your big toe mound and your outer heel, your baby toe mound and your inner heel. Feeling the arches of the feet lift, an engagement in your quads. On your next inhale, find a little bit of length through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, feel the weight of your body rush down into your feet. Moving into some twists. Inhaling, sweeping those arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, keep your hips forward. Guide the right hand in front, left hand behind. Nice work. Full breath in here. Full breath out. We'll do the other side. Inhale, reach those arms up. And as you exhale, guide the right hand behind, left hand in front. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, reach your arms up. Maybe go for a little back bend, press your hips forward. And as you exhale, press your hands together down the midline of your body and then to the sides. You're welcome to do that same thing again. Or if you want to add a little heat in the body, you might start to sit down into a chair pose, sinking the hips down, making sure you can see your toes still. The weight is back in the heels. Reaching your arms overhead. Inhale. As you exhale, right hand in front, left hand behind. Keep your knees facing forward, hips facing forward. On your next inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, reach those arms up. And as you exhale, straighten the legs, maybe go for a back bend, and then press your hands down through the midline of your body and to the sides. All right, same thing again, you have the choice. So really thinking about embodying that quality. If you're being gentler, maybe you're standing. If there's somebody who is really strong-willed, maybe you're coming into your chair pose. Or anything else that you feel honors that quality and that person. When you're ready, inhale, sweep those arms up. Option to sink your hips down into your chair. And as you exhale, guide the right hand in front, left hand behind. Full breath in and full breath out. Inhale, reach those arms up. And as you exhale, we'll twist the other direction. Inhale, rise up. Oh, hold on. One full breath here. All right, inhale, rise up. Exhale, press your hands down through the center of your body and to the sides. Just checking in with how this movement has been feeling in your body. I'm going to do one more final standing posture and then we'll move to the ground. Keeping your left foot forward, slide your right toes back. Now your heel can stay lifted. This is for a lunge, or you can drop the heel down for a warrior A position. Keep a deep bend in your front knee and the knee is pointing over your middle toes. Find a little bit of length in your tailbone. Perhaps guide your hands to your belly and your ribs and really feel your belly expand, your rib cage expand with breath. And then you have the option to keep your hands on your body or to reach them all the way up. It's up to you. We're going to spend the next few breaths with the option of opening up the chest and the heart. This is an area where we can really collapse in as grievers. It can feel good to open it. It can feel vulnerable to open it. It can be whatever to open it. You maybe aren't feeling a lot these days, and that's okay too. Full breath in here, and as you breathe out, maybe think about drawing the elbows down, lifting your heart, going for a little bit of a heart opener. Think about squeezing those shoulder blades together behind your back. Inhale, draw those arms up, find a more neutral spine. Exhale, draw those elbows down. One more, just like that. Breath in and breath out. Nice work. Inhale, reach those hands up, and then draw them to a place of balance. Maybe hands at heart or hands on your hips. We're going to step forward. Find your mountain pose. Maybe inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, big stretch up, and then exhale, press your hands down through the center of your body into a place of balance for the other side. Sliding your left toes back. You can keep your heel lifted or heel down. Deep bend for that front knee, lengthen your tailbone, and let's just reconnect to our breath. Really expanding the belly, the rib cage, and the chest with every breath. It's so important. When you're ready, inhale those arms up. If you choose, if you don't, that's fine. As you exhale, draw the elbows down. Breath in, reach up. Breath out, elbows down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale your arms up, and then exhale them to that place of balance. And we'll step forward. Take a full breath in, sweep those arms up. One last big stretch here, and exhale them down through the midline of your body and to your sides. Inhale for a little bit of length here through the crown of your head. And exhale to get grounded through your feet. Please join me in finding a comfortable place on your back. Now you are welcome to come and lay all the way down on your back. Or if you'd like to create a little ramp, I'm going to show you how to do that quickly here. We'll start with one pillow, a yoga block, a book, something of that sort at the top of your mat. And then we'll take one large cushion or pillow. So it could be, if you sleep with like a memory foam style pillow, something firm like that, you could use it. You could roll up a couple blankets to be nice and firm and long and cylinder, or you could use a couch cushion. Place it along the other pillow to create this ramp-like structure. From here, I like to come down to sit right in front of the ramp. Bring your hands on either side or even to hold on to it, and then slowly lower all the way down. Sometimes I like to scoot down so that my head is a little more supported. Some people find that their low back is needing extra support here. You could bring an extra pillow into that space. Guiding your feet flat on the floor and then crossing your right ankle over your left, drawing your left knee away. So maybe pressing your right knee away. Pressing your right hand onto your right thigh is one option. Another option, if you're on your back or even if you're in a reclined position, is to draw your left knee in towards your chest, interlacing your hands behind that thigh. So I mentioned that grief is no different than other stress when it comes to the body, in the terms of us holding it and putting it places. You can hold on to that tension and that stress. When a wave of grief hits you in the middle of your day, and when you rush on to get over it, to stop crying, to whatever it is, we move that emotion somewhere in our bodies. And it often needs to be let go of, acknowledged. And so here you might think about some of the moments in your day that have been just consumed with grief, with memories, the feeling of loneliness or sadness. or anything else that you may have experienced. A wide range of emotions are totally normal and common, and you're not alone in them. Anything from relief to anger. Just noticing and acknowledging these moments, these feelings. Then perhaps taking a big breath in through your nose. And an exhale through your mouth. Big breath in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth, letting it go. Final breath here. Uncross your right ankle. Maybe bring your feet flat on the floor and windshield wiper your knees a little side to side. And we'll bring our right foot flat and cross our left ankle over the right. You can bring your left hand to your left thigh, press it away, or perhaps guide your hands to the back of your right thigh, guiding your knee in. On this side of the body, I want to encourage you to just become familiar with your breath again. I know that in the moments of intense grief that I've experienced, it's like my body forgets how to breathe deeply, or if I do breathe deeply, it somehow might take away my grief, which I don't necessarily want. Or it lessens the pain in some way. And I don't know how to describe it, but I have a deep aversion in those moments to breathing deeply. But the reality is that if you take a deep breath, it doesn't take away your pain. It doesn't lessen your grief or the value of the relationship or the love that you had. It simply allows your body, or tells your body, hey, we want to move into a little bit more of a calmer state. We want to give our brain a rest, our body, our emotions, everything a rest. See if you can make your next breath a little longer, a little smoother, a little softer than the breath before. When you're ready, you can undo your left ankle. Maybe windshield wipe your knees a little side to side. And then set up for your final resting pose. If you're liking this ramp, stay with it. I like to often bring my feet wide and let my knees fall in together. For other people, extending their legs out nice and long on the mat can feel good. Or doing the opposite of what I like, bringing the soles of the feet together and knees open wide. For this one, I often like to bring pillows under my thighs or my hands underneath my hips for a little extra support. Just finding a position that is going to feel good for you in your body. And resting your hands on your belly or your rib cage if you can. Just encouraging your breath to be long and slow. Sometimes all you need is to breathe. And allowing the thoughts of your practice to fade away. Maybe just observe the rhythm of your inhale and the rhythm of your exhale once again. And enjoy the space in between your thoughts, the brief pauses. You're welcome to stay and rest as long as you'd like today. I'm going to leave you to rest. But before I leave you, maybe take a moment to reflect on how you're feeling at the end of the practice. How your body's feeling, your mind and your emotions. Maybe thinking about that quality that you chose to embody and recommit to embodying it in the rest of your day, maybe in the rest of your week. Take a full breath in with me and a full breath out. You're welcome to end your practice with me, rolling over to one side, pressing yourself up, or to stay and rest longer. It has been my pleasure and my honor to guide you through your practice today. Namaste.